Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, Blake Bortles and the reigning AFC South champion Jacksonville Jaguars take on a man back for a 15th NFL season, Eli Manning, and the New York Football Giants. With that, let's get up to MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. Standing by for the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And thank you, Coach. We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. This crowd a few minutes ago stirred into action at the side of their men in blue emerging from the MetLife tunnels. We're set to go as the Giants get ready to match up with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, you take a look at this Giants ball club. And I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game, there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They pass the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jaguars, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet. And both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
No more training camp, no more exhibitions. The 2018 NFL season on EA Sports is underway. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They'll be led out by their quarterback from Central Florida. It's Blake Bortles.
And you can see why he was the number 3 pick when he came out in the NFL draft. 6'5", sturdy guy, strong arm, led his UCF team to a big bowl victory over Baylor, and runs the ball way better than he's ever given credit for.
Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. And now we'll get a timeout. Looks like we've got a Jaguar and some discomfort down there on the field. Boy, not what you want to see in quarter one of the new year. We'll be back. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
Offense.
And that'll set them back 5.
Still second down.
A bad false start penalty there. Now 2nd and 6. The Giants making their way out, and at this point you would have to think that all mentions of last year maybe erased from team history, or at least that's what they want. Clearly, Charles, correct me if I'm wrong, the talent on this team, too good for another 3-13 finish, right?
And I think that was reflected in their draft in 2018. Because if it was an all-out rebuild, they would have drafted a quarterback at number 2. Instead, they drafted Saquon Barkley. So that signals to me they want to get back to running the football and trying to punish people on offense.
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Dante Fowler in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
Didn't have the greatest field position to start, did they? And now, after this sack, it's way, way worse.
And right off the bat, first play of the game. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. And as a first-rounder, a lot of eyes on him, a lot of expectations.
And he has to play well in his rookie year. Those days of coddling guys and bringing them along slowly, those days are long gone. When you're drafted in the first round, they expect you to play right away, and the community's eyes and fan base.
Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Ramsey. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. The Jags heading out on offense. Well, last year we said, Charles, one of these years it has to come together for the Jaguars, doesn't it? Well, guess what? It certainly did. They won double-digit games for the first time in 10 seasons, and they picked up 2 more wins in the playoffs before falling in that tough one to New England.
And they decided that on offense, they were going to be a team that knocked you off the ball and ran it. That's why they drafted Leonard Fournette out of LSU, and he gave them some toughness and an identity. Quarterback Blake Bortles, often criticized, but elevated his play in the playoffs, both with his legs and his arm. For the defense, that's where the big transition happened. Yannick Ngakoue coming off the edge. Calais Campbell, maybe the best player on the defensive line in the league last season. But Jalen Ramsey out at corner, he gives them their swagger, he gives them their look, and he gives them great play on the edge.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it and pick up first downs.
And the head coach reaches for the red flag, tosses it down on the field. He wants a challenge here.
The previous play is under review.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
After the penalty, it's Fournette. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38. And now a look at the offense for Jacksonville.
Leonard Fournette commands a lot of attention, not just because he was the first 1,000-yard running back for Jacksonville since Maurice Jones-Drew in 2011. It's because of his ability to hit the hole fast, to knock people over when he's carrying the football, and to run away from people when he gets to the open field. He actually has changed the identity of the Jacksonville offense, and I'm looking forward to watching him for years to come.
Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up. And the big meet on the D-line, we'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can...
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Janoris Jenkins. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
So after the INT, it's Manning. And almost intercepted. It would have been his 2nd pick of the game. Instead, it'll be 2nd down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Throwing on 1st down is Madden. He's going to rifle one deep left side and nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, you need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Throwing now is Madden. Open man right side is Ingram. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Evan Ingram, 39 yards. And the Giants are going to take a 1st quarter lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Aldrich Rosas on for the extra point. PAT up and good by Rosas. And it's now a 7-0 game. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants. Rosas now to kick this one away. This will be taken about the 12. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Getting set to go again, Blake Bortles marches back onto the field with his offense. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things. One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. From the gun on 3rd down, Bortles. And now another one thrown incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Manning and the Giants come up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Calais Campbell. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And he's going to be taken down. Sacked back at the 2. Blair Brown in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long.
Well, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up. Back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
Hard throw, incomplete.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the 1st quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. That'll go as a punt of 42, 7 on the return. And the Jags will have great field position to start this drive as they take over on the short side of the field. Fournette, a 1st down carry. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And looked like some movement there. Let's get the call.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. So after the penalty, heading in the wrong direction, 2nd and 15. On 2nd down, here's Bortles. And he'll get that to Fournette, complete. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 3rd and 10 now.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
He'll check this one off to Fournette. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Give him 8 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Manning and the Giants come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. On 1st down, Manning. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gives him a new set of downs.
And you remember pre-draft, there's a lot of speculation that the Giants should look for their future quarterback at number 2 with a great possibility. Remember, Sam Darnold from USC was still on the board, but they passed on him to take this runner, Saquon Barkley. And this is exactly why. They think he can extend the life of Eli Manning's career and give them 1,000-yard seasons year after year.
They haven't had a 1,000-yard season since 2012. Ahmad Bradshaw did it then. On second down, here's Manning. Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram. And he's brought down. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with the tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Manning now already over 100 yards passing in just this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. Manning now on first down. Over the middle to Beckham. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A good drive gets him inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Bortles. Now he's hit, and Bortles fumbled. It's loose.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
On 3rd and long, it's Bortles. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. And the Giants ready to come out now. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
On the crossing route, complete. It's Shepard. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. And that one results in 35 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 41. On 1st and 10, here's Manning. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. Manning again here on 2nd and 10. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, and they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
Throwing is Manning. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete. Some mistakes already in the first quarter. If he holds on to that one, 1st down.
Yeah, and I'll guarantee you that at least one defensive back out there has reminded him of that fact, trying to get into his head and hoping that'll affect him the rest of the game.
Yeah, that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. The last couple of drives have ended in punts. Maybe the crowd minds that, but you're a defensive guy. You're okay with a couple of punt drives.
Listen, I'm the guy that loves a 0-0 pitch game. All right, in baseball, I can handle that going into the 7th inning. I think the crowd, though, they want to see a little bit more excitement. Let's see if someone can break something free on offense.
And they drop it for a loss, but penalty markers are on the field. Let's see about the call.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, this crowd does not like that call.
Understandable reaction from them. That's their team that the penalty is going against. But you and I both know they're going to take care of the quarterback.
Bortles going to run the draw with Fournette. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play caller, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy is disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a second guy to him.
And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Dalvin Tomlinson in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Following the sack, 3rd and long for Bortles and the Jags. Working from the gun, it's Bortles. And this is going to be incomplete. And the Jaguars send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Now this is fielded in the end zone. It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down as he goes 32 yards on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Giants offense back out onto the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and give these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. And his throw's going to be incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Manning will try again on 2nd down. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. That's caught inside the 20. Manning to Beckham. A big play there. 54 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. Partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Into the red zone now. Manning, and he fires one incomplete. He was looking for Odell Beckham that time. That'll bring up 2nd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Now Manning, blitz coming, and down he goes.
Sack, baby. Sack.
3rd and long for the Giants, and Eli following the sack.
Hey, go 56. 27's a Sam. 27's a Sam.
On play action. Now Manning. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Odell Beckham, 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Giants add on to their lead. Rosas now to add the PAT. Rosas good with the extra point, and the lead is now 17-3. The drive summary that time, 5 plays, and it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. Rosas now to kick this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Jaguars getting set to go. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. Hey, listen, if something there's happy casualties at times, we're trying to win a game.
And a nice little quick spin move before he's dropped. And a pretty good gain. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. If they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield. That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
False start, offense.
That's going to set them back 5 yards. The Jaguars on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. They're looking at third and a few inches. Shotgun now for Bortles. Going for the deep ball. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. And on this challenge, the refs have to take a peek and see whether or not the receiver was able to dot the I with both feet.
While making sure that he possesses the football all the way through the catch.
So the call stands as is. Not only is that the case, now you're out of challenges too.
Which means that if anything goes haywire and you look out and you want to get it corrected, you cannot unless it's within 2 minutes.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Again, it's Fournette, and they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and they're going to face a third down. Well, he had 2 sacks earlier. Now he has 4 total tackles for a loss after that play.
Well, they obviously have to do better.
And here's another interception, the third of this first quarter. Picked off at the 20, and he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
They'll start out on the ground at Saquon Barkley. And he lost the football.
Knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home, the next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. So 1 quarter in the books on NFL kickoff weekend. It's the Giants with the early lead. Back to MetLife Stadium in just a moment.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Giants with a football here as we begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down. They go play action here on first down. To Shepard, complete over the middle. And he's brought down after a good gain. A really nice gain of 25 yards. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
Now Stewart on first down. And now running right through it. And he's got about 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 25. Manning to throw on second down. The left side throw complete to Adams. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And that is incomplete. Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
After the field goal, here's Rosas to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here comes Blake Bortles now to lead his offense back out there. He's struggled. His team has struggled. You talked to me a lot about looking to your leaders. Maybe it's time for him to put his mark on this game.
Agreed. And how that has to happen is somehow he's got to flush out everything that's happened so far and almost start over and get back to that confident level and know that he can play the game, because so far this has been a real struggle.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got the interceptions, trying to turn it around.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
Now Bortles throwing on second down. And complete over the middle, Safarian Jenkins. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A big one there for the Jags, 18 yards, first down.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Now Leonard Fournette, and he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Looking back to Leonard Fournette's rookie campaign, over 1,000 yards rushing. And coming into the league, some people saw this kid as an ex-Adrian Peterson. What can we expect from him going forward?
Perfect comparison because of the size, the strength, the speed. But I think he catches the ball better than Adrian Peterson. So I think they can up his utilization in the passing game. But what really impressed me was down the stretch in the divisional playoff game against Pittsburgh, hurt his ankle, left the game for a while, and came back and helped power his team to a big victory. Remember, he had some dings at LSU that kept him out of a few games. I thought that was a breakthrough for Leonard Fournette.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
The Jags with their first opportunity in the red zone. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. Into the red zone, it's Bortles. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It's a gain of 9 yards, and that'll make it 2nd and short.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for the offense.
So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
On second down, here's Fournette. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Jaguar linemen might have moved.
False start, offense.
So that'll back him up 5. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Bortles. Going to throw deep for the end zone. Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. In for the score. And the Jaguars make some inroads here on that deficit. And a great example there of just getting the feet in a tough spot. It seems like every year these guys get better at this.
Well, I think the drills get better, that they work on training camp, off-season work, OTAs. But also a lot of these guys have dance backgrounds, ballet backgrounds, and they take that and carry it over to the football field.
And there's going to be a stoppage here. The booth wants to take another look at this potential touchdown. So they went to the booth to see if that was a touchdown, and they have decided it will not be a touchdown. 6 points off the board. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This will be taken about the 12. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And our players spotlight now as we turn our attention to Eli Manning. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect him better.
They do. They've got to make sure that they give him more than enough time in order to find targets downfield. And sometimes what happens when these things are going on is that the field general will step up and say, hey, that's on me, guys. I didn't get rid of it fast enough. Anything to try and relax them a little bit and take some pressure off because they do know that they are trying.
And he's hit and taken down. Eli sacked. The former All-Pro Marcel Darius getting in there from his defensive tackle spot to snow him under for a loss of 4. Now Manning throwing on second down. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Yes, indeed. Eli Manning to Odell Beckham Jr. When they do it over and over, they usually win games.
Yeah, and you know the video game Madden, right?
Of course.
Yeah, that's why he's a big reason that Odell Beckham was on the cover in 16 with the arm stretched out, that famous one-handed catch.
Yeah, he did that a lot, didn't he?
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Manning now on 1st down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
But one thing's for sure, when you got a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Manning. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And that's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him. Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Now they're set up nicely at the 45-yard line after the missed field goal from 55. On first down, Bortles. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? What a really nice game right there on first down for them. Ends up a nice second down for them.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll lead here to a third down. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the second quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
The Jaguars on third down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. Here it's 3rd and 3. Bortles. Throw left side complete. That's Cole. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. A big one there for the Jags. 18 yards, first down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this, when he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Bortles on the give to Fournette. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Bortles to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Dante Moncrief, his first touchdown as a Jacksonville Jaguar. And the Jaguars are back within a score. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. Fairly short kick, taken at the 14 here. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. This offense trots back out there now, and as they do, Charles, one thing to point out that we saw a second ago are some of the new rules in the NFL this year regarding kickoffs.
Yeah, nowadays, the kickoff team, no more running starts. Remember that when you got to circle a guy around, and here he goes? No more. You have to start, close to the ball. And when it's kicked, then you get to take off and go, so you can't build up your speed that way. Also, when you're returning it, remember those wedges that we used to say where guys would form together, 2 or 3 guys? No more of those. So it'd be a lot more man-on-man, one-on-one blocking. And also they have rules about where people have to be when the ball is kicked, where they have to be when the ball is caught. So to me, it's much more like a punt return than it is an actual kickoff return. So I'm eager to see if teams now take their punt returners, those nifty guys who make people miss in the open field, and make them the kickoff returners as well, because I think you can still get big plays in this area if you have the right people back there.
And now the ball comes out. Manning lost it. And they have the football and will take over